How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today we're having versus Mamba in the OU tier from the Discord server. Go ahead and join the Discord server. It's the best place to go for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battles right now. There is a link in the description down below. Friendly reminder to drop a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. We're on our way to 20k by the end of the year, and I'd love for you to be a part of that journey. Looking at the team, Rhyperior could put in some work. If we clear out the Meowscarada and the Alomomola, then Rhyperior puts in work after a Rock Polish, no doubt. So to take care of the Alomomola, we'll obviously use Serperior, and to take care of the Meowscarada, we'll have to use our Typhlosion / Corviknight. So looking at the team, I'd say they lead off with Corviknight, so I'm going to lead off with my Meowscarada. So I'm going to lead off with my Corviknight to counteract that. Nothing really threatens my Corviknight on their team particularly, so I'm pretty confident leading with that. And the battle begins. Have fun, Mamba. So they're going to lead off with Slasher the Third, the Weavile, as we lead off with our Corviknight. So it's a very good lead on our behalf. We can do some serious damage to this Weavile, or we could just U-turn. I'm definitely going to U-turn because Gholdengo is probably coming in. So they go for a knockoff to get rid of that Rocky Helmet, which makes a lot of sense. But I could easily body press here. Unfortunately, I haven't. I've gone for a U-turn. So U-turn is going to do a lot of damage to the Weavile, that's for sure. Now we can switch into whatever we want, really, and take care of this Weavile. I'm leaning towards Typhlosion because it's the only Pokemon we've got that's actually outspeeds, and we've got no priority. So I am going to go Typhlosion real quick, and I'm going to fire off a nice and powerful Eruption. Or they probably go into Flygon here, so I am going to go for an Eruption because I'll do the most amount of damage to the Flygon. So they're going to withdraw Slasher the Third, which is fair enough, and they're going to go into what? Ursula, which is going to be the Tentacruel. So I could have gone for a Scorching Sands to predict that, but I really thought Flygon would be the switch. So I don't want to go for Scorching Sands. I'd rather just go for this and get some chip damage off, to be honest with you. So they're probably going to go for a Flip Turn if I had to guess, because they're not going to Rapid Spin, because obviously there's nothing to Rapid Spin away, unless they want a Speed Boost. So knowing that, I'm going to switch out, and I'm going to go into my... What do I do here? I think I'm going to go Deoxys Defense because I'm pretty confident. Well, they can't really touch Deoxys Defense. Their attacks are going to bounce off it. Unless they go for a knockoff, which will still bounce off. They'll just knock off our item. So we'll go Deoxys Defense. Exert that pressure. And then they go for a Chilling Water. Interesting. Which is not going to do anything to us. So what we're going to do now is, knowing they're probably going to switch out into the likes of the Meowscarada or the Gholdengo, I'm going to go for a Teleport to get on out of there. They go for a Sludge Wave. They're actually staying in. And that's going to do minimal damage to us. We go for a Teleport to get on out of there. Because unfortunately I don't have anything on my Deoxys Defense to attack though. So I really didn't think they would stay in because we can't really do much to us. But it is what it is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go... Rhyperior could work for Terra Watered and Rock Polished. That's for sure. But they've got the Alomomola there, so I need to get rid of that. I'm going to go into Serperior and scare this thing out of a Leaf Storm. They probably stay in and go for a Sludge Wave, but it's fine. We can handle that, no problem. So they're going to get their Leftovers Recovery, which is bringing them close to full HP again. And now I'm going to go for a Leaf Storm just to get damage off and then obviously get some boosts going on. So we go for a Leaf Storm. It should do a decent bit of chip damage to the Tentacruel, but not too much. As we get a special attack raise as well, which is great. They go for a Sludge Wave. Not going to KO us, but yeah, it doesn't KO us. That's fine. But it's obviously doing a lot of damage, which we don't want. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to go for another Leaf Storm because we're at +2. So it should... I don't think it'll KO. But I'll bring it down close enough to where Typhlosion's Eruption does the job. So let's go for a Leaf Storm real quick. So they're going to withdraw, fearing the KO, which makes a lot of sense. And they're going to go into Golden, which is going to be the Gholdengo, no doubt. Yep, Gholdengo comes in. So let's see how much this Leaf Storm does at +2. A lot of damage, to be fair, as we get a special type boost once again. I'm guessing this thing's Scarf, by the way they've brought it in. I suppose we'll see in a second if they've got leftovers or not. We don't, so we have to assume Scarf. So I'm going to keep Serperior alive now, and I'm going to go into my Tentacruel expecting to make it rain. So we're going to withdraw our Salazar, the Serperior, and we're going to go into our Cruelio, the Tentacruel, just to take a hit from this thing, no problem. Then you go for a Shadow Ball. We should sponge that. Yeah, we sponged that like it's nothing. That's great. So we know they're probably Scarf, by the way they brought it on the Serperior. I'm going to go for a Surf here. No, I'm going to go for a Surf here because they very well might switch out. So they stay in and go for a Shadow Ball. I meant to say they very well stay in. So we'll go for a Surf real quick, get some damage off on the Goldengo. That's no problem. They don't really have a Hazard Setter on the team, so I don't need to worry about Tentacruel being around. And what I can do now, though, is I can go for another Surf to take out this Goldengo and go from there. They do withdraw Goldengo, which is fair enough. What are they going to go into? Their own Tentacruel? Ursula, that's the Tentacruel. I remember the name. So they bring in their own Tentacruel, which is fine. We go for a Surf. My Tentacruel's bigger than theirs. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, let's go for a Flip Turn this next turn. So we go for a Flip Turn. Unfortunately, we do outspeed, which means our Flip Turn is going to go last. But we're alright because they probably go for a knockoff or something along those lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in Deoxys Defense once again. And this time we're going to start spamming Nightshade. Nightshade will do a lot of damage to the Tentacruel. Well, it'll do 50 damage because we're based for level 50. But it's still damage at the end of the day. So they go for a Rapid Spin which bounces off us. Which is fair enough. It's going to boost their speed. But as we established before, they can't really do much damage to my Deoxys Defense. So it's not a big deal. So they go for another Rapid Spin to get a speed boost once again. That's fine. I don't mind that too much because I'm just going to go for a Nightshade right now. And because Tentacruel has low HP, we're going to be able to easily 2-hit KO them from there. So there we go. So 2-hit KOing the Tentacruel with Nightshade is nice. Again, they can't really touch us unless they've got some sort of Dark type move like Knockoff or Dark Pulse. So they go for a Flip Turn, which is interesting, which means they're going to probably go out into either the Goldengo, probably not the Goldengo because it's on Death's Door, or the Meowscarada or the Weavile. So they're going to go into Tender Tides, which is going to be the Alomomola, which is great for us because it means we get some nice chip damage with the Nightshade. Not going to do too much damage because they've got that much HP, but you know, it is what it is. Now we'll go for a Stealth Rock, expecting them to have a Flip Turn or Scold. So we go for a Stealth Rock, we do outspeed of course, because Alomomola is not very fast at all. And we're going to see what they're going to do. So I'm thinking they probably, Wish. That's what I was thinking. Wish is probably coming out now. Now, what we need to do now is we need to go for a Nightshade. And the reason being is because they're probably going to switch out into something to try and heal them. They probably expect us to go for a Teleport. So we stay in and go for a Nightshade. They actually stay in themselves and go for a Scold, which is fair enough. Scold's fair enough. They're going to get a Wish back, though. Which builds their HP right back up to full. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to teleport. I'm expecting a Wish or something along those lines. So they go for another Wish, which is fair enough. Wish comes through. And we're going to go for a teleport right now. Get on out of there. And then we'll go back into Serperior because we get a free switch in. Serperior can definitely KO this thing with a Leaf Storm, so I'm going to go for it. So in comes Salazar the Serperior, looking absolutely dapper as out. And then we'll go for a Leaf Storm, like I said. They're going to withdraw. They don't want to lose their Alomomola yet because it's the one thing stopping Rhyperior from sweeping through the team. And they're going to go to Sandraco, which is the Flygon. So Flygon's not going to appreciate the Leaf Storm either, especially after Stones Dig in. Now, they're not heavy duty boots, which is good to note, so they could be choiced. They could well be choiced. We definitely outspeed them. That's for sure. They may also Terra. Then again, they have just lost. Yeah, they've pretty much just yeah. So we don't know what Flygon set this is. That's for sure. Do we want to F around and find out? I don't know. They may Terra Steel. I think the best thing we can do right now is go to Corviknight. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Because if they Dragonance, it's all Ogre. So we're going to withdraw our Serperior. And we're going to see what this Flygon's going to do. So we go Silvera because, well, it's a Flygon. We do not want to let it set up all over us. They actually make a double switch. And they're going to go back out into what? Slasher the third Social. Oh, so they go to Weavile. They were going to sack off Weavile to the Serperior. Which tells me they're probably not... They're probably not... So they're probably not Choice Scarf. So that's what I was getting at. So they're going to withdraw the Weavile anyway. Well, a lot of switching going on today. I know people don't like that, but you know, you're going to have to get over it. So Alomomola comes in, gets some Stealth Rock damage. We go for a U-turn because it would have KO'd the Weavile and it gets us out of there as well. So they actually have Rocky Helmet, which is interesting as well. So now all we need to do is go Serperior, get a free Leaf Storm off, and we are absolutely golden. So there we go. Salazar's coming in. Looking amazing, very regal. And we'll just go straight for a Leaf Storm. There's no real reason not to. So we go for a Leaf Storm. They do stay in. They've realized they don't really have a good switch in. And we claim the first soul of the game, which is fantastic. And with Alomomola out of the way, this opens up a pathway for Rhyperior to come through. So in comes Golden, the Gholdengo. We know this thing's scarfed by the way they brought it in earlier and the way they brought it in now. We don't want to take a hit from that necessarily, so I am going to switch out. And this time I'm going to go Tentacruel once again, because I feel like this time they go for a Make It Rain, expecting no. I think they definitely go for a Shadow Ball, but it's fine because Tentacruel doesn't serve much of a purpose anymore. So we'll go Tentacruel, whereas Deoxys defense can get up with the Stealth Rocks again if the Rapid Spin comes. So they go for a Thunder Wave, so they're not actually Choice Scarf, which is interesting. So that's kind of thrown me off balance. They must have been bluffing. That's a good bluff, though. It's a very good bluff. So knowing that, let's go for a Flip Turn real quick. So they're going to withdraw, which tells me they may actually be Scarfed with a Thunder Wave. So they're going to bring in Slasher the Third, the Sociable, which is the Weavile, as it comes in. And then Point Stones are going to get rid of it. So we can't actually Flip Turn, which is unfortunate. Which means they get a free switch into Flygon or Meowscarada. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So in comes their own Tentacruel, which is probably going to go for a Rapid Spin right now. Which makes a lot of sense if it does. However, this is a good opportunity for us. No, it's not. I'm going to go for a Surf because it'll KO. They do go for a Rapid Spin, which is going to do minimal damage to us. I gets rid of the Stealth Rocks and all that stuff. But if we can pull off the Surf, we couldn't move because we were paralyzed. That's really unfortunate. So what we're going to have to do instead is we're going to have to get out of here for a start. We'll Flip Turn. And then we'll bring Rhyperior in, we'll Terra Water, Rock Polish, and go from there. So they go for a Flip Turn of their own, which is still going to do minimal damage. And they're going to go back out into something else, which is unfortunate because that kind of ruins my game plan with the Rhyperior or the Terra Water. But it is what it is at the end of the day. So in comes Sandraco, which is the Flygon. Nice and shiny, gotta love it. And we go for a Flip Turn, we're going to get out of there. And we're going to have to make some plays because we've got 3 minutes left of this battle. So I'm leaning towards the Rhyperior switch still. I'm leaning towards the Rhyperior. So I'm going to go Rhyperior. We're going to try and pull this off now. If we can't pull it off, we can't pull it off. If we can, we can. It is what it is. So I'm going to Terra Water. I'm going to Rock Polish. And then we'll go from there. So they're going to withdraw, which is even better. It means we don't take any damage. And they're going to go into Golden, the Gholdengo, which is fine by me. I can take that, no problem. We're going to Terrestrialize into a Water type and go for a Rock Polish. And hopefully this means we can clean up the game with Rhyperior, which would be amazing. So Rhyperior Terra Waters, there we go. Looking amazing with its crown on its head. And then we're going to go for a Rock Polish real quick, which is going to boost our speed by ×2, which is fantastic. So now, we just go for an EQ. Are they going to Terra? Let's go for an EQ. So they go for a Trick, which is interesting. So Trick, they still outspeed us, despite us being ×2 speed. And we get a Choice Scarf now, which means they get a Life Orb. We get the KO with the Earthquake. And down goes Gholdengo. So critical hits are a thing, but it doesn't really matter because it was definitely a KO regardless. And now they can safely bring in the Meowscarada or their Flygon. So in comes Kadabra, which is going to be the Meowscarada, right? Yep, there it is. Nice and shiny, gotta love it. Very dark in here. Look at the stadium, it's pitch black. So now I'm going to sack off Tentacruel, and then we'll bring in the Typhlosion. So there we go, withdrawing our Rhyperior, we're going to go into our Typhlosion. No, not our Typhlosion, our Tentacruel to sack. Then we bring in Typhlosion, we KO this thing with an Eruption. So they go for a Flower Trick, which is fair enough, that's going to do a lot of damage. Definitely KOs us. Boom. Plop. So I think Tentacruel on both sides was the MVP. I think. It's hard to tell. So we're going to bring in Typhlosion now, Krakatoa. And we are definitely going to go for an Eruption right now. That is 100% sure. So they go for a Sucker Punch to weaken our Eruption's damage. Doesn't do too much damage though, as we can go for an Eruption now and easily KO this Meowscarada. So down it goes. Kadabra is out of the way. And unfortunately, with 2 Pokemon left on my opponent's side, that is the end of the game. Now, Tentacruel was on death's door, and Flygon couldn't do anything to our Corviknight, really. Unless it was special with Fire Blast, which we don't know. So, we'll go for an Eruption once again, but it's not going to let us do it. So, that is the game. Unfortunately, it did not last the full timer. But Good game, man, but that was a pretty fun one. I enjoyed it. But anyway, here is the team. Try it out if you want to. Use the code at the top right corner of the screen. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.